So far, I have introduced the concept of radar screen analysis, and it's quite useful in identifying the competitors, not only the direct competitor, but to include the scope of our competitors, to include the indirect and potential competitors. Now, let's try to apply what we have learned in analyzing our competitors. So, we will continue to use our case of rebalancing our business portfolio, where to invest our businesses. So we have 4 business sector candidates: travel business, shipbuilding business, automobile business, and construction business. In order for us to build our strategy, we have already conducted our industry analysis. Based on our analysis, we determined that travel and shipbuilding industries are attractive, and automobile and construction industries are not attractive. So that's not the end of our analysis to build our business strategy. We also have to look at our competitors. Even though the industry is attractive, but if there are strong competitors and the competition among the existing players are very strong and fierce, those markets might not be very attractive to us. And also, we have to be very cautious in increasing our resources to such investment, to such market. And also, at the same time, even though the market is not attractive, if there are not big players in those markets, and if we can compete effectively with our competitors in that market, still we may try to attack and increase our investment in those markets. So once again, industry analysis is the most important first step to build our strategy, but that's not the final step to build our strategy. That's only one of a lot of many other that's only one of various analysis we have to do in building our strategy. So comparator analysis is something we are doing right now. So out of 4 business sectors in our businesses, in each of our business sector, we try to identify who's our major competitor. So in case of the travel business, so there are 3 different types of the competitors. As I have explained: direct competitor, indirect competitor, potential competitor. As I have explained, direct competitor is the company that currently competes with us in the same market with the same or similar products, technologies, or approaches as ours. Indirect competitors are the companies that pursue the same customer value in the same market, but products, technologies, and approaches are different from our company. Potential competitors are not currently competing with us, but they may be competing with us in the same market in the near future. So with the introduction of the smartphone, they have negatively impact to the destiny of a lot of industries. For example, newspaper industry. When I say the newspaper, the actual papers delivering the news on that paper. When I was a small boy, the only method of getting daily news is TV news or newspaper news. So we subscribe newspapers or we buy the newspaper at the bus stop or subway station. But at this point, it's less than 10 years. No, it's almost above 10 years. The smartphone is introduced. And everybody is watching the daily use on smartphone. If I see passengers on the subway, they watch the news and they read the news, not from the newspaper, but with a smartphone. So the newspaper industry as a whole has almost collapsed. So from one newspaper from perspective, they thought they only identified the competitors, the different newspapers. But actually, the real threat was not coming from another newspaper, but from their potential competitor, that smartphone. Let's also think about the camera manufacturing company. When I was a small boy, the small camera was very popular, and I also want to buy one small portable camera. Maybe I remember that the brand was the Canon, I think. It's a Japanese camera manufacturer. But nowadays, everybody is using smartphone cameras for taking the picture. So nobody is buying just the ordinary cameras. Still, the professional photographer is using the professional camera, but most of the ordinary people use their smartphones for taking the photos. So camera manufacturing business has almost gone. With the introduction of the smartphone, I just used the two examples, newspaper business and camera manufacturing. But a lot of other industries like portable music players and also other businesses are gone just because of the introduction of the smartphones. So the identifying potential competitor is really critical and useful in comparator analysis. So in each of those 4 business sectors, travel, shipbuilding, automobile, and construction, let's try to do an exercise of identifying direct competitor. So who's the direct competitor of my travel business in case I do the travel business, okay? And then think about who might be the indirect competitor and then who might be the potential competitor. If I'm running one travel company in Korea, and my direct competitor might be the other travel company who are competing with my company for the customers who want to buy the travel package or who want to travel domestic or overseas. Who might be the indirect competitor? Indirect competitors are with the different products, but they pursue the same customer value in the same markets. Okay. They might be the hotels, okay, because travel industry and hotel industry are offering totally different products, but they are more or less related and they may pursue the same customer values. Or the golf resort, they may compete with the travel business in attracting the customers. But identifying the potential competitor is more difficult, but leverage your creativities. Who might be the travel agent? Who might be the competitor of the travel industries? Not right now, but in the near futures. Maybe the baseball, watching the baseball game could be the potential competitor or indirect competitor at this point. So identifying the competitors in each of the 3 dimensions is not easy, but it's worth trying to identify the competitors. As we have collected the relevant data in industry analysis, there are a lot of ways to collect the data about the competitors and competitors' trends. So once we identify who are the competitors, and then we may collect the relevant data about the competitor and the competitor trends with various methods. We may also start from analyzing internal data, as we have done in our industry analysis. If we have analyzed the competitors' trends and the competitors' information on a regular basis, And we may first start looking our internal data first. It's easy to access, and that's the starting point, and that may give a lot of insights about your analysis. But in case you do not conduct the internal analysis so far, and there is no internal data available at this point, and you may go out searching for external materials. Where do we get our competitor information? Outside? As I have mentioned in my industry analysis, if there is an association among the market players, like a construction association or automobile association or travel agency association, if there is non-profit organization, and that's the if they produce some regular or irregular articles from that association, that's some starting point to get the information about your competitors. If there is an academic thesis or article from the universities or the scholars, and that might be the starting point to do the competitors analysis. And you can also look at the newspaper articles or other articles from other institutions. It may take some time, but if you have done the researches quite well, and that will give you a lot of valuable information. And analyzing internal data and searching for external materials are both those two methods are providing the secondary information. So those informations may not be suitable for your own analysis perfectly. So other ways to collect the data about the competitors' trends are the first-hand information gathering from the site or meeting with the relevant people. So you can get a lot of valuable information about your competitors with the customers. So you can interview with the customer, or you can visit the customers to get the information about the competitors. If you try to get an information directly from the competitors, they may be very reluctant to give their information to their competitor. But more or less, competitors and our companies are providing our products to the customers. So the customers are the best resources to compare the pros and cons, to provide the insights and the pros and cons of competitors' products as well as our products. The customers may provide you a valuable insights about the competitors' trends. The next way to collect the data about the competitors' trends is market participant or expert. So experts might be the analyst from the securities companies or the scholars who are studying in that specific market for a long time, or any professor who have an interest in those markets and have studied for a long time. So you may interview with those experts to get the information about competitors' trends. And finally, you may also visit the competitor's site if that's available for their competitors. And in addition, you may also, based on the, depending on the industry types, you can also leverage the expositions